I thought marrying into Philadelphia's old money elite would open doors, not lock me out of my own identity. But one glittering family dinner proved how wrong I was. At 35, I, Catherine Smith, sat under the Carlton Hotel's crystal chandeliers, the weight of my grandmother Elena's emerald necklace warm against my skin, when my mother-in-law Vivian Montgomery turned a celebration into a calculated heist. 5 perfect Colombian emeralds set in platinum and diamonds, my grandmother's strength stone, bought with the first profits of the import empire she built from nothing, suddenly became the target of Vivian's honeyed demand. "Darling," she said, smile never reaching her eyes, "that necklace belongs in the Montgomery vault now. It's far too grand for you." In that instant, the polished veneer cracked, and I realized the true cost of 3 years of quiet compliance. What happened next wasn't just a walkout. It was the beginning of dismantling an empire that thought it could own me. And trust me, the twists that followed will keep you glued until the final sunrise. Before we go deeper, if you like this kind of raw, unfiltered stories, from betrayal to sweet, satisfying revenge, drop a like and subscribe so you never miss another one like this. And tell me in the comments, what do you like or dislike about the story in the end? We appreciate genuine feedback and love from the audience. The private dining room smelled of seared filet and aged Bordeaux, the soft clink of silverware the only sound after Vivian's words landed. Richard, my husband, shifted beside me, avoiding my gaze. "Mother's right, Catherine," he murmured. "The vault's security's better." His practicality felt like a slap. For 3 years, I'd reshaped myself to fit their world. Vibrant dresses traded for beige neutrals. My CEO role at Thompson Enterprises reduced to charity appearances. My Mexican heritage politely sidelined as too colorful for their circles. But this necklace? It wasn't negotiable. Elena had placed it around my neck on her deathbed, whispering, "Never let anyone dim your light, mija." 5 emeralds, each one a milestone in her journey from immigrant entrepreneur to global force. Now Vivian's manicured hand reached across the table like she was claiming a trinket. The table froze.
Howard, my father-in-law, nodded sagely. "Family tradition, Catherine. Valuables go to the vault." Richard's whisper again. "Don't make this difficult." Silence pressed in, thick as the chandelier light. My fingers brushed the central stone, feeling its pulse, almost like Elena urging me forward. Under the table, my platinum bracelet hit a discreet panic button, a precaution of Elena insisted every Thompson executive carry. I'd never pressed it. Until now. 2 quick taps. Nonviolent emergency code. "I won't be surrendering the necklace," I said, voice low but steady. "Not today, not ever." Vivian's smile faltered, eyes hardening. "This defiance is unacceptable." Howard flushed. "Now see here." Before Richard could intervene, the double doors swung open. Maria Diaz, my head of security, once Elena's own bodyguard, strode in with 2 suited team members. "Miss Smith," she said formally, "you activated the alert. Is everything all right?" The Montgomerys looked stunned, their curated world unprepared for this intrusion. Howard sputtered, "This is a private dinner." Maria ignored him, eyes on me. "Your instructions, ma'am?" I stood slowly, the emeralds catching every light in the room. "There's been an attempt to coerce my property. I'm leaving with your escort." As I walked out, necklace gleaming, the air felt electric. Have you ever walked away from a moment that shattered everything you thought you knew, only to discover the real fight was just beginning? The cool April night hit my face as Maria guided me to the armored SUV. 2 miles to Thompson Enterprises headquarters, city lights blurring past. Inside, my heart hammered. The necklace wasn't just jewelry. It was proof I still belonged to something unbreakable. Maria drove in silence, then spoke softly. Elena always said you'd know when to stop bending. I touched the stones. She was right. At headquarters, the 22-story glass tower, Elena's vision, sustainable and alive, stood dark except for the executive floor. The night guard straightened. "Welcome back, Miss Smith." My maiden name felt like coming home. In my office, vibrant art from our heritage lined the walls. Elena's motto framed, "Trade builds bridges between worlds." Dust in the corners spoke of my absence. 3 years funneled into Montgomery obligations. I logged in with biometrics. What I found over the next 3 hours stole my breath. Emails redirected to Richard's account, board minutes showing meetings I'd never attended. My digital signature on reorganizations shifting key staff to Montgomery-friendly subsidiaries. Financial thresholds lowered, requiring Montgomery advisor approvals. A meticulous, chilling takeover. "Elena," I whispered, fingers on the emeralds. "I've let them unravel everything." Shame burned, but fury followed. As majority shareholder, I still held power. Maria re-entered. "Your husband has called 17 times. Montgomery vehicles are circling your residence." I straightened. "I'm not going back tonight. Secure the Warwick, neutral ground." She nodded. "Presidential suite ready. Elena built contingencies, secure servers, loyal staff, biometric locks. She anticipated storms even from within your marriage." Stunned, I realized Elena had seen the Montgomerys' patterns long before I did, her immigrant wisdom outpacing their old money arrogance. "Access her private files," I said. "Project Phoenix. Now." The files unlocked only for me, Richard's repeated requests denied. Project Phoenix, a rebirth plan for hostile takeovers. Steps to isolate threats, convene emergency boards, suspend compromised members, and activate international protocols. Trusted allies listed, including Janet Chen, our Harvard-trained general counsel. I called Janet at 5 a.m. "Catherine," she answered sharply, "I've been waiting." We mapped the fraud. Draft motions to suspend their allies and restore my control. Emergency board at 8. Elena's handwritten note in the margin. "They'll underestimate you. Use it." The emeralds hummed against my skin. Richard's call at 6:30 a.m. His tone exasperated authority. "Kate, this is childish. Come home. We'll sort it privately." I leaned into the speaker. "I've seen the falsified minutes, the redirected emails. You've been stealing my company. That ends now." His scoff. "You're out of your depth. Our lawyers will bury you." I ended the call. Resolve hardened like steel. But wait, this gets even more intense. As dawn broke over Philadelphia, the Montgomerys weren't done fighting back, and their next move would nearly cost me everything. In the Warwick suite, sleek mahogany and city views, my phone buzzed with Richard's 23rd call. Voicemails escalated, veiled threats. "Return or there will be consequences." Maria reported Montgomery vehicles still circling 10 miles away, but Elena's safeguards gave me leverage. "Activate Phoenix fully," I told Janet. We shifted liquidity to London and Singapore accounts. By noon, we were untouchable domestically. Then the escalation hit. A court injunction from a Montgomery-friendly judge freezing U.S. assets pending fraud investigation. Classic local power play. Next, their smear campaign. Montgomery Foundation socials accused me of mismanagement. Influencers amplified #ChicaThompsonFailure with slick videos. My stomach twisted. Old wounds of being dismissed as too ethnic reopened.
But Thompson Enterprises spanned 47 countries. I pivoted. Release evidence globally, I told Janet. Frame it as a governance crisis. Wall Street Journal and Reuters picked it up fast. Vivian arrived alone at the rooftop terrace, Elena's wildflower garden oasis. "Let's talk woman to woman," she began, silk scarf fluttering. "Step back. Let Richard lead. Keep your necklace as goodwill." Her eyes flickered with disdain. I stepped closer. "You want control, not peace. Philadelphia is yours. The world is mine." She left wordless, her limits exposed. I accepted a keynote at the Wharton Global Business Ethics Symposium, launched town halls for Philadelphia's diverse entrepreneurs, immigrants, students, bypassing elite circles. Media shifted. Forbes tweeted my redefinition of corporate courage. Local support surged. Their narrative drowned. Have you ever turned a personal attack into a public platform and felt the ground shift under your feet? The Franklin Institute's Grand Hall hummed with 500 attendees. Crimson curtains framed the stage. I adjusted the mic, emeralds catching spotlight. I'm Catherine Smith, CEO of Thompson Enterprises. Today, a story of invisible boundaries, reclaimed authority, and authentic leadership. I recounted the dinner demand as metaphor for overreach, detailed fraud without naming names, focused on global safeguards, empowering resistance. Leadership isn't control, it's space for truth. Audience silence spoke volumes. Questions poured. How do you face power without fear? I touched the stones. Find what grounds you. My grandmother's legacy reminded me who I am. Post-speech, hugs from immigrant entrepreneurs. You've given us a voice. The Montgomery's absence screamed. They couldn't penetrate this merit-based space. Alone backstage, I traced the 5 emeralds, each a chapter of transformation. Elena built bridges. I'd open my fight to the world. Their secrecy and exclusivity crumbled against transparency. I wasn't compliant anymore. I was the leader she'd groomed. As Philadelphia's skyline glowed, I knew the legacy was reclaimed. But one final symbolic act sealed it. Months later, in my own apartment overlooking the Delaware, the table was set simply. Fresh linens, one place for me, one open if chosen. The emerald necklace rested in its original velvet box beside a framed photo of Elena, young and fierce, wearing it at her first big deal. A single candle flickered. No grand reunion, just quiet space I'd carved. The Montgomerys had sent letters, apologies, requests to talk. Richard's divorce papers signed cleanly. Vivian's silence spoke volumes. I'd set terms, therapy if ever, public acknowledgement of boundaries, and no more assumptions of ownership. Forgiveness? Optional. Accountability? Non-negotiable. Truth doesn't expire. It waits patiently for light. Success whispers louder than any shout. Boundaries aren't walls, they're architecture, designed with care, defended fiercely. Power is quiet, steady, like emeralds catching sun after storm. What would you have done when Vivian reached for your legacy? Drop your thoughts below. I read every one. If this story hit home, hit subscribe and the bell. More raw tales of reclaiming what's yours are coming. Congrats, you survived till the end of this raw revenge. Now it's your turn. Comment below. What part shook you the most? How did the ending make you feel? Stories like this only keep coming if you hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss the next raw one. See you in the comments. Love.